I've struggled with self-hatred my entire life. From as early as I can remember, I've just hated myself and thought I was just kind of the worst. And it didn't matter how many people told me, no, you're great or you're wonderful, etc. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't accept it because it just felt so compellingly true. I went through a process and it took me about 3.5, 4 months, and I got rid of my self-hatred forever, completely gone, which is remarkable. And the cool thing about it is there's like nothing special. It's like, if I can do it, you can do it. Let me just walk you through the process of how I did it. Just know that it's something that you can be free from. If you're struggling with it. And if you are, I'm sorry, because I know how bad it is. I've done all kinds of work on myself for many years, and the self-hatred just didn't yield to anything. All kinds of intensive therapy, etc. And finally I just decided, okay, I'm gonna really work with this energy, and I'm gonna deal with it directly. I'm gonna face it. So it started with, it kind of started externally. Like, I've always hated my body and the way that I look, right? Just always, whenever I think of my appearance, I've just always been like, terrible. And the feeling is hatred for me, myself, my looks, etc. And so what I did is, every time that feeling came up, I just sat with that feeling. I allowed it to be there, and I brought it a lot of compassion. And there was a lot of fear in there, fear of what other people would think of me, terror of not being loved, etc. in that feeling. But mainly it was just this hatred of myself. And so I sat with that, and that, especially my appearance, right? And that, it took about a month. Like, I went through that fairly easily. And a lot of these parts that you sit with, you can go through them in a month, and some that are stickier take a little bit longer. The way that this kind of works is, usually there are 3 kind of parts stacked on top of each other. And so this is what I would call the outermost layer, this surface layer of, I hate my body, right? It's easier to hate my body than it is to hate myself, which I'll touch on in a second. So I sat with that energy, and then what I discovered was, underneath that layer of I hate my body was, I'm disgusting. Okay. So I sat with this one long enough to see through it, to realize that what it was covering up was, I'm disgusting. Right. And you can see how it's easier to live with this layer of self-protection of, I hate my body, because I can spend 20, 30, 40, 50 years here working on my body, trying to get it to where other people will like it, etc. You can see how that's never going to help me address the real issue, which is, I'm disgusting. If I'm disgusting, there's not much I can do about it. That's just how I am. So I sat with this feeling, and this feeling was definitely tougher. I sat with this one. This one was like a month and a half, maybe even a little bit longer. And it went down fairly swiftly, like, it just sitting with it. I just had to practice every day of sitting with this feeling of, I'm disgusting. And it kept going down. It kept dissolving, because, one of the things that I've learned is that when I touch these feelings, they dissolve a little bit at a time. And so it's just a matter of time, really, and being with these feelings before they dissipate. Because what the problem is, that what most of us do is we avoid these feelings. And what avoiding them does is it keeps them locked in place. That's how feelings like this, I had this feeling for 50 plus years. That's how feelings like this can stay in place, by avoiding them and not feeling them. When you feel them and walk all the way through them, you get to the other side, they're gone, because you felt that feeling. So I sat with this feeling, and the end of this one, so it went down pretty quickly, down to like a 1, down to even like a 0.1. But that last, like 0.1, because it's such an ingrained habit, this like, I'm disgusting, is so deeply embedded in me, that it just wouldn't let go that easily. So I kept sitting with it, and I even got a flu. I even got this flu. So it was just like really like a bad time, which I've seen kind of like when you're getting rid of this junk, this poison essentially inside your system. That's it. Kind of sometimes it acts out externally. So I had this cold. Eventually it kind of let go. It released. And so what I discovered, what was underneath that, was all this hatred that I had, just like this little kid hatred, this like 5-year-old kid who feels so poorly treated. He's like angry. Now, what I could see from that is you can kind of see it's like, okay, up here on the surface, it's much easier to be like, oh, I just have to fix my appearance. I can just work out or lose weight or whatever it is, and then people will love me. Underneath that, what's really going on is I'm afraid I'm disgusting, right? And there's nothing I can do about that. Well, by the same token, what's underneath I'm disgusting is I have all this rage and I want to like kill and hurt people. Do you see how dangerous that is? Like for someone to walk around with all this sort of anger and rage, I'm going to get in fights, I could be hurt. It's much safer to take all this anger and point it directly at myself by saying I'm disgusting. It's so portable and contained. It's like you don't even know I'm over here hating myself. And so this whole thing is this way to not deal with this like rage that was inside of me. You know, my dad was a rageaholic, and so I was like physically abused, etc. Right? And so this kid very naturally and very appropriately had all this anger. So learning how to sit with that anger and allow that to be all the way up the chain, the whole chain started to dissipate. And as I sat with this anger, the whole thing kind of went away. And it's like ever since then, it's just that muscle, that reaction of like, oh, I want to hate myself. I try to do it and there's just nothing there. There's just nothing there. And I've seen this again and again with people who I counsel, in my one-on-one coaching. There's just, when you really feel your way all the way through something, it's gone forever. It's not this thing where you're trying to manage it and fix it and control it, and then it comes back because it never really got dealt with. I always say it's like if you deal with a fire, the smoke goes away. Otherwise, you spend your whole life just dealing with the smoke, the symptoms. And so, I don't have all this hatred toward my body, and I don't feel that I'm disgusting anymore, and I don't hate myself. And so that's pretty miraculous. So, I mean, if you're interested in doing this kind of work and working with me, someone who's been through many of these, this one was number 16 of 16, in the last 5 years of really deep, horrible parts, wounds that needed healing. And I've discovered a way for myself and for my clients to help them walk through these things in a supported way. So if you're interested in that, look in the links down below and book a one-on-one initial consultation with me. And we can talk about whatever it is. If that's your block, if your block is self-hatred, we can deal with that. If it's something else, we can deal with that. Because behind every block is this true spirit inside of you, this incredible magnificence, and it's just waiting to come out and be expressed. So don't miss the opportunity. And while you're down there, if you could like and subscribe, and check out one of my other videos and see if anything else resonates. See if what I'm talking about makes sense. If it does make sense, you might want to join my free community called Unblock Your Brilliance, where we kind of focus on and specialize in people who are dealing with the pain of not realizing their full potential. There's a certain pain that comes along with that, and just helping them to unblock that and starting to express success in the world through money and relationships, etc. So check it all out. It's down there. And I hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you soon.